Hello and welcome to a go-getter episode of the Drywall Podcast. I'm your host, once again, Nick Harmon. Finally, we tracked down our second interviewee within the Tape Tech family. Please give a warm Drywall Podcast welcome to Carolina Garcia. She is basically the more attractive counterpart to Mark Wilson, aka sales manager of the company, and has rose the ranks through determination and an attitude of rolling up her sleeves and getting it done. And so maybe it's that same attitude that gave her a not so typical introduction to the world of drywall.
I got the connection with AMES. Then I did the interview, and it was pretty fast. I mean, I interviewed on a Thursday. I remember this, on a Thursday. They called me on a Friday. They wanted me to go and get all the tests done and everything done because they wanted me to start on Monday. I was like, wait, what? So that's what happened. That's what I did. I started.
Cool.
I got a little bit of training.
And wait, you don't know anything about drywall. You don't even know what AMES is. You don't even know that like AMES started the tools.
No.
Okay. All right.
Nothing. Little nothing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
She's kind of a badass. We discuss the dynamics of climbing the corporate ladder and why she's had such a successful career with the company. We talk about her experience in the field and learning how to sell tools she wasn't that familiar with. And also, we talk about the division of AMES and why this company culture continues to foster success. I finally shut up a little bit and let Carolina open up about herself. All that and more on this, the 137th episode of the Drywall Podcast. Is it getting chilly in here? I feel like something cool is about to happen. That's right. We are ringing in the month of July on the Drywall Podcast. So that means new episodes, new exciting content, and a fabulous new sponsor. I'm excited and proud to usher into the sponsorship fold, AMES Tool Company. You heard me correct. I am welcoming the grandfather of automatic taping tools, the Sultan of Sling, the OG of OGs, AMES Tool Company. And I'd like to take a little time to talk about rentals. Not only was AMES at the forefront of the automatic tool back in 1939, but they also pioneered a not so typical way of selling their brand. And they're still doing it. I'm talking about renting the tools. Fun fact, you don't have to buy automatic taping tools. You can rent them. For starters, you get factory fresh tools every time. These babies are fully calibrated and ready to go. Something breaks, no problem. You just swap it out. And there's a ton of other benefits. Check out shopamestools.com or stop by your nearest AMES location to learn more about this option. But for now, Carolina Garcia on the 137th episode of the Drywall Podcast. You're going to like this one. Let's get into it. There she is.
Good morning, Nick.
Good morning.
Sorry about that, man. It took longer than expected.
No problem.
Sometimes with Teams, it's like right away because that's like GMS default program. But then when it goes to Zoom, it kind of like it says launch, and it's just like another process. But anyways, here I am.
Here you are, busy Carolina Garcia on the Drywall Podcast. Welcome.
Thank you.
And you work with Tape Tech and AMES.
That is correct. Yes. Tape Tech and AMES. Yeah. Mainly I'm on the Tape Tech side. But Yes, it is tape tech and AMES. It's a big family.
Okay. Do you
Mhm.
always have to say tape tech and AIMS when you introduce like who you work for?
No, normally I just do tape tech. Mhm.
Just tape tech.
Just tape tech. Then depending when people goes on and ask the relationship, then we explain. But it's normal. I mean, when I identify myself, who I work for is with tape tech. I represent tape tech. Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. Mhm.
And like when you got the job, was it with tape tech?
It has always been with tape tech. Initially, I started 15 years ago on the inside sales, okay? And mainly it was like I thought it was like just higher on the AMES work. But then once I started the job, I was like, okay, I'm focused on the tape deck side, supporting the AMES stores with the tape deck side. So um, that's it's always been with tape tech. So
Maybe we can shed a little light on the difference between tape tech and AIMS a little more. Mark was on the show. If you don't know, Mark Wilson, great guy. He's sort of your counterpart. Yeah.
yes, that is correct.
Yeah. And maybe he like trained you a little bit.
On the on on the tools side, yes, on the tool side.
All right.
I mean, Mark is. I tell him I always show off when I'm working with him. I say
Okay.
this got the drywall crack. He's the crack of the drywall. I mean, he's amazing. I mean, I have learned from a lot of things from Mark. Mark is a
Yeah.
great person. His knowledge on the tools and how he trains, how he explains to people what he does, his
Hmm.
passion, his professionalism. So I definitely have learned lots of things from him on the field side, on the training
Yeah.
side. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Well, he
Yeah.
speaks highly of you, so he you must be doing something good over there. Did you get a chance to listen to the Mark Wilson episode?
I did. I did. Yeah, I
What
did.
what'd you
So
think?
I
Come
love
on,
it. Love it.
honest.
No, love it. I mean, I seriously, I love it. And it's funny. Mark Mark has so many stories and so many like anyways, you can sit and listen to for hours on
Yeah,
what he does, what he has been through. So it's always fun to listen to his stories, his experience. So it's great. But it was like I really like it because he was very open and he was more like
yeah,
on Mark, who's Mark? So I really
yeah.
like that. I really like
That's that's kind of my job is hopefully to create an air of comfortable, like where people are comfortable to just we're just going to have a conversation about Carolina. And do you prefer Carolina?
doesn't matter. It's Carolina,
Oh,
it's
Carolina, Carolina,
yeah,
and you speak fluent Spanish.
yeah. So I'm originally from Colombia, South America,
Okay.
and I came here when I was 20. Then I'm going to tell you my age, but I was
Yeah.
21, and and I've been here almost 22 years.
Okay, not bad, not bad.
Yeah,
We'll do the math. We'll let the listeners do the math.
they do the math. We just leave it at that.
If you're watching on YouTube, Carolina looks like she's about 23, so
We leave it at that. There you go.
whatever, whatever. Very neat. Colombia to the United States. Let's
Mhm.
get into that a little bit. How did that come to be before we get into the drywall stuff?
Yeah.
And if you don't know, I met Carolina at the Build 25 show She was at the Tape Tech booth. We got to meet for the first time. Mark was like, you got to interview Carolina. Tabitha's like, you got to interview Carolina. As you know, Tape Tech and AMES have been sponsoring the Drywall Podcast. We appreciate them for that. And so that we can bring our listeners good content. Carolina works for Tape Tech. She's an expert with the tools and trainings, and her and Mark tackle. And two PowerPoints. You're female and you speak Spanish, so those are key factors in you bringing Tape Tech to the world of drywall.
Absolutely. So yeah, I mean, a little bit of my background.
Yeah. How'd you get to America from Colombia? That's pretty ambitious at 21.
Yeah, it is. I mean, so I came with my family, my dad, my mom, and a younger brother. He's 5 years younger.
Okay.
So we came over due to my dad's work. So I would be honest with you. I was in college. I was 20 and 2021, and I'm like, life is easy, life is good.
Yeah.
I'm good. Yeah. But then it's like, no, things are not as easy as I was thinking in Colombia at that moment. So when we came over, I was like, I probably won't stay here for too long. I will be going back and forth.
What was challenging about being in Colombia?
It was, I mean, it back on that time, I mean, 20 years ago, it was safety. Safety was an issue,
okay.
But I'm not anymore. No, it's just not anymore.
I think of Valderrama. That's who I think of.
Yeah, it's soccer. So, but we're pretty good at soccer, and we love soccer.
Oh yeah. Stop me if I'm wrong. There was a World Cup. This might get a little edgy. There was a World Cup where wasn't a goalkeeper like he died. Like they lost the World Cup. Colombia lost the World Cup.
They.
He had an accident.
Yeah, an accident. Yep.
Like Colombia's kind of hardcore. So it was a hardcore back then. Maybe your family obviously wanted a better life. What can you say what your dad was up to at the time that brought him to America?
So he was the VP of a company that is called it's like Georgia Pacific here.
Okay.
Back in Colombia, it's called Papeles Nacionales. So he worked there. Then he moved. We moved here, and we start. In my head, I'm like, yeah, I would just be going back and forth. Sure thing. I finish here. I continue with my life here. Things
yeah.
And I got here. I'm like, I don't think I'm like completely involved on all the things that are going on, and I need to put my bigger pants and let's get this done. I was a big support for my family. I was the oldest one. For my brother was only 14, 15 years old. So
just you and the brother.
My brother, yeah. And I would say I was pretty mature for a 20, 21-year-old. And I was like, okay, let's get this done and let's just be a support and let's get things rolling. And I start falling in love with this country. I start falling in love with the opportunities that in Colombia you have to work really hard to get noticed, to get opportunity, to be fair. And here it was like I start seeing, okay, yes, I see why my parents want to start a new life here because we have better opportunities. So yeah, I'm very grateful that happened. I'm very grateful that they taught us really good. Like you need to take advantage. Take advantage of the opportunities. Be fearless. I wasn't scared. And I think it's also helped with the age. At 21, you don't give a crap of what is going on. I mean, it's like,
Yeah.
okay,
Well, you're a very confident person. I can tell.
yeah. And, I was like, okay, let's do this. And 21, I'm like, okay, sure. You sign me up for this. Oh, you should do this. Okay, sure. Sign me up. And it was good. I'm glad I did. I wasn't scared, and I was like, sure, let's do it. I started going back to college and getting the English, because when I was like,
Yeah.
okay, I know English in Colombia, when you come to the country, it's like, no, I really didn't know English.
Right.
So
Which college were you going to at the time? Where were you?
I started here in Georgia. I
Okay.
started at Winnet Tech. It was a small college here close to where we were living back when we moved here. It was we were by the Lawrenceville area, so that was close by. I was like, okay, I can start going here. Um, then things kind of like start getting better and more clear on the path
Yeah.
that I was trying to get. I was then able to continue my education, continue to help my parents, and
Yeah.
here it gets you the opportunity. I see the opportunity that I can do
Smart.
both things. I can continue to study, I can continue to support my family, help them through this transition, be part of the transition, and I'm glad I did.
What did you study? What did you get a degree?
Yes, in a
Okay.
business administration.
Business.
Yeah.
Just a go-getter. I love that.
So
And was it more challenging in Colombia maybe for female than in the United States?
it is yes, probably. And it was a challenge on everything there back on that time. It was really the opportunities. I mean, and even right now, you still go to Colombia, and you can be talking to your taxi driver that is an engineer. But
Okay.
it's just the opportunities are not there for everybody,
Yeah. Okay.
unfortunately. So yeah, but then so I continue here. Then I met my husband. I was here maybe a year and a half when I was here in the States. Then I met my husband, and that's it. I started falling in love with everything, and that's how I made my family here, and this is my place, this is my country, this is where I have everything that I love is here.
Yeah. Any
Yeah.
kiddos? You got any kiddos?
Oh yeah, I got two boys. I'm
Nice.
a soccer mom.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm a soccer
What
mom.
what are the ages of the boys?
15 and 12.
Nice. Mine's 9.
Mm-hmm.
It's so
Nine.
fun, right? Soccer's
Yeah,
so fun at the youth.
yeah,
They probably
it's
crush it because they got that Colombian blood in them.
maybe. Maybe, but yeah, it's fun. We have it on the blood. I mean, it's just like this
Yeah.
passion soccer.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
really enjoy it. So yeah, I mean,
Okay.
that's weekends. That's our stuff. It's just soccer.
Of course. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, we have a lot of soccer too. Love it though. I love going to soccer, watching soccer. It's a lot of fun. Okay, so you graduate from college, you got a husband. What does Carolina do next? What's the next step?
So so then I start, and it was funny how I got here.
Yeah.
It was through a friend. She opened up she either opened it up or she was working for a staffing agency that it was specialized on bilingual people. So she's like, listen, let me get your resume, please. Let me get you, because she was starting her job, her career. So she needed like a candidate to get hired. She's like, please let me use your resume. Let me just do this. And I was like, okay. Um, Back on that time, I wasn't because I was still finishing college. I just finished, so I wasn't really doing a full-time job. I was doing medical translations. So
Okay.
yeah, medical translations. So she was like, let me get you to this. Let me get your resume." So she got me the job, the interview with the AMES
Okay.
team.
And you
And
being an interpreter, uh, you like
yeah,
that,
I,
translating?
Nick, what I think I enjoy it, but I'll be honest with you, what I really think I enjoy it, or why I felt I enjoy it, it's because I was helping people. I I feel really good when I do something for somebody else. And now going back to what I do now, that's one of the parts that I enjoy the most on my job. When I go out there and I show people what they can do with the tools. I love it. I mean, I really enjoy when I go out and I explain the tools, I explain the benefits, I say I can help you. I really feel good when I can get to help someone on something, whatever they need.
Yeah.
Feel better. So I think I enjoyed though the translation part because I was helping. It was on the medical side too, so it was just like helping people through going at the doctor and all that stuff. So it was actually it was a good job. They paid really good back on that time too. So that was
Nice.
I got the connection with AMES.
Yeah.
Then I did the interview and it was pretty fast. I mean, I interview on a Thursday. I remember this on a Thursday. They called me on a Friday. They wanted me to go and get all the tests done and everything done because they wanted me to start on Monday. I was like, wait, what? So so that's what happened. That's what I did.
Cool.
I got a little bit of
And
training.
wait, you don't know anything about drywall. You don't even know what AMES is. You don't even know that like AMES started the tools.
No,
Okay.
nothing,
All right.
nothing, literally nothing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
They
So
liked that you well, probably that you're pretty. They probably like that you spoke two languages, and then maybe being female is a big deal, especially, and back then I think that was forward thinking, 20 years ago.
I think so. I think
Yeah.
so. Um, so I was like, okay, I got a little bit of training for like a
Right.
week.
Yeah.
And then my boss, who was training me, she goes into labor. So she goes out on maternity leave.
Uh-oh.
So
Okay.
I'm like, okay, so I only got 1 week of training. Now what? And
Wait, who is your boss?
that was her name was Dania because I started as an inside sales,
Okay.
but was inside sales. It was very different how like the tasks and the responsibilities of the team. So back on that time, it was mainly like a admin type of job, right? So it would be like processing orders and sending confirmations, but that was dedicated to the AMES stores. Also, how the AMES were set up 20 years ago was very different, the way they operated.
Okay.
So it was more as customer service type of task.
Okay.
So she was, I think I actually, if I remember right, I think her title was customer service manager. It was Dania Ortiz. She was my boss.
Okay.
Then
Is she
she
still
didn't,
is
no,
she
she
still
was
there? She's left. Okay.
no, she's gone. Um, so I start with that. I got and I start learning and I start like getting used to the stores, knowing about the company. I did that for close to 2 years. And I go on maternity leave. So I took a little break after those first 2 years. I took a break. I stayed home close to a year. And
Kid number one.
kid number one, yeah. And number two is not the it was different. But yeah, kid number one, I stayed home for close to a year, which actually worked out because that was back on 2009 when uh, with all the economy crash and was like bankruptcy and all. It was through all that and actually helped me that I stayed kind of like out of that mess.
So
And
AMES was AMES facing challenges during that time as well. So the economy was hurting. Okay, all right. So maybe it was kind of nice to,
yeah,
kind of a layoff.
yeah, exactly. So I was like, okay, then I'm good. Then when I was like ready to go back, I reached out again and they're like, sure, come back. So back on 2010, 11, when let me think, 2009, 2010, when I came back, that's when I truly came back to what I do now. Because the opportunity was on the operation side with customer service. So things also changed a lot during the time I was gone, and after the bankruptcy, we have closed Livermore, the Livermore warehouse. So we were in Stone Mountain. So I worked for back on that time. Now I was working for the director of operations. She recently passed, but I learned so many things out of Lisa Carrier. I mean, she was a tough lady. She was she knew everything.
What was her name?
Lisa Carrier.
All right, shout out to Lisa.
Yeah, and so because she was very unique, and I learned a lot out of her because of her knowledge. She started from, she has done it all. She had done from production, so she knew how to build the tools. She has all that knowledge, and I always see, she always showed that, like the importance of wearing different hats and doing multiple things, like what will help you at the end for success. And she was always like that. She had that knowledge. I'm like, that makes her unique. So I start seeing that, like, I want to learn a little bit of everything too.
Smart, yeah.
And I think she gave me that that I wanted to learn about everything because I see how successful she was.
Yeah, she inspired you. She inspired you, and she was a mentor. It sounds like
she did. She really did. And I learned a lot from her on the operations. She did all this Kaizen and about she had this. She will go into all this, how being organized, how be prepared, know what you're talking about, like numbers. And it was funny with her. She loved Excel. One time she loved Christmas. And one time we were at the office back when we were at Stone Mountain at the warehouse. That's where the offices were. We closed the corporate and we all moved to the warehouse in Stone Mountain. So then I go tell Lisa, I was like, Lisa, what if we we put the cubes as a ginger house? Let's just decorate it as a ginger house. Oh my gosh, Nick. That was like, I'm like, when I opened my mouth, like, what was I thinking?
No doubt.
Map with Excel sheet with, like, okay, we're doing this, we're hanging this. It was hilarious. We worked for a weekend to make the gingerbread house, and we work in a gingerbread house, like literally a gingerbread house. It's like she built the house, but in that Christmas. So that was fun. You
like Christmas?
Yeah, I do. I love it too. Yeah.
Pretty
So
good idea. You get like a glint in your eye when you talk about AMES, and it's why do you think that is? Why? Because Mark talks about a little bit the culture of AMES and tape tech. Why, why do you think you liked it so much and that enough to come back? I mean, you could have gone out, you could have done anything. Let's face it. You're a go-getter. There's something about Ames there though that really I feel like that you just really love.
it's you're absolutely right. I mean, it's a passion, and I'm passionate about, and I'm proud of the company and who we are. Um,
Yeah, but
it,
why? What how come?
it's just it's the people. I mean, like again, like people like Lisa, right?
Yeah.
Having people like Mark Wilson back
Yeah,
on,
Mark.
I'm like, wait a minute, and then knowing that we were the inventors, we the Ames brothers. I mean, having all this background on who we are, how we have stayed in the industry, because it's a lot of competitors, it's a lot of competition,
Yeah.
it's a lot of other many things out there, but we stay who we are
Yeah.
because the people, the story behind, and I will say that we had great people in the company. The culture
Sure.
of the company is different. I also feel Ames Tape Tech as a company gave me the opportunity. I think they saw who I was and what I can bring to the table, and they
Yeah.
trust me. They trust me, and I felt that trust, and it creates this passion. It creates this loyalty to them, and I hope I'm here for a while because I really enjoy working for the company. It's a passion. It's like you want to get things done right. Um, you want things to grow. You want things to go in the right direction, and I do my best to make sure it's done from my part, that I can do what I can choose to make the company successful. Um, it,
Yeah.
it it takes a lot of people. It takes, I mean, it's not just me, but at least on my side, I do my best. Like I really want to do my best.
Yeah. You kick ass.
Yeah, so I try,
Hold
and
on, Carolina. Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna get more coffee. How are you
okay.
doing? You need to
Oh,
get something.
you want to know how many cups I got so far?
What where are we at?
I'm on the seventh cup.
Yeah, you're from Colombia. It's a land of coffee.
Of course, yeah. So,
I like coffee.
me too.
What do you drink? What kind of coffee?
Um, Black coffee. And it has to be strong. Yeah,
Yeah,
it has to be strong. But and
me too.
it's just black coffee. I mean, we have.
Yeah.
Um,
No
uh,
sissy stuff. You're no sissy stuff. You drink it like a
coffee.
yeah, so you can taste it.
Yeah.
It reminds me of Pulp Fiction, when they're like drinking the coffee. You've seen the scene with Pulp Fiction. It's like they're talking about how good the coffee is. I get it from Michael Thomas here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. They're a roaster. The owner, oddly enough, I've gotten coffee from Michael Thomas for years, but the owner's son plays soccer with my son. So she's a soccer mom. She's pretty great. And they roast fantastic coffee. I like French roast. And yeah, I spare no expense when it comes to coffee bean. And then I grind, and then I do old school drip, but I
Yeah.
grind it before I put it in.
So we do, when I like the weekends. That's when I do my whole ritual on the coffee. We do the regular, the drip. We do Arabic, but on the day to day, because I mean it's like we do so many cups. I do the Folgers Colombian coffee. That's the that's the way to go in the mornings. It's like, okay, this is no
Folgers,
rituals, no protocol. It's just coffee and go.
coffee and go. Yep.
Yeah, coffee and go. But yeah, I enjoy coffee. Actually, I am from the coffee center. My city is called Manizales. So
Okay.
where the coffee center is in Colombia's three cities, Manizales, Pereira, and Armenia. And Manizales, we're on the top of the mountain. We have a volcano and everything. It's a beautiful city, and it's more
Oh,
like colder uh, temperature, kind of like a fall type of weather. Um, and our coffee is pretty good. But I'm even from the center of the coffee, so they put it on your blood. I mean, it's just like on
yeah.
your bottle when you're a
Yeah.
baby. It's just
Coffee and soccer. Yeah.
yeah, in soccer. Yeah, that's for sure.
Or
So
football, as it were.
there you go.
Yep.
So, but yeah, enjoy coffee.
And Colombia, that's Spanish, right? Is that Spanish? Or because I know there's different types of Spanish.
Yeah, no, but it's a Spanish. In South America, it's only Brazil that they don't speak Spanish.
Portuguese.
Yeah, they speak Portuguese, but other than that, it's all Spanish. Different accents, different
Sure.
things. Yeah, but it's all Spanish.
Okay. Carolina you are at Ames. You just had a maternity leave. Ames is going through maybe some restructuring after a hard economic downturn. You come back. You have this amazing mentor, Lisa. She's inspiring you to become maybe more, or you think to yourself, you know what? The more I know about this company, which is really smart, the more I know about this company, the more I can offer. So you start to learn about everything you can about Ames, and that it doesn't sound like that was in like some like you were hoping to like raise the ranks in Ames or anything like that. You wanted to know so that maybe you could just serve better. And like as a business owner, it seems to me like, like when you're in drywall, like I always had the idea of, because I asked for several raises throughout when I would work, it occurred to me very early on that if I was making the boss money, that I was valuable. And so it was about like being fast and efficient. If I could do that, then I was less likely to get fired. And I could be like, hey, man, I'm doing well on these tools. Like, can you bump me to 22 or whatever it was at the time, 24? I think in Crested Butte, I was making 25. That was a lot of money for 20 years ago. But uh, it seemed like that was the kind of philosophy that you were taking into, which is smart. And if you're out there and you're listening and you're working for somebody and you're staring at your clock and it's just a paycheck, shift the way you think about what you're up to. And if you can't get around that, find something else to do. Because if you can take that passion into what you're doing, it makes the day go by a little better.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, it does. It does make a difference, and I
And
and
maybe your bosses will recognize the fact that you are passionate about what you're up to, and they'll give you a raise and a better position.
eventually those things come. But I was like,
Yeah.
I wanted to learn. It was funny because even when I got back, it was still kind of like we're getting out of the bankruptcy and all that. So I will go in the morning and do all the order process, right? So, okay, so how many orders we got? So I would put it in the system. I will send confirmations. I will respond to emails. I was like, okay, let's get this done. I will go eat lunch. And in the afternoon, I will go get my knife and put it on the side. I'm like, let's pack this. Let's get it done. because we didn't have enough people in the back either. So we're like, let's just now I enter the orders from the morning. Now I need to help get them out of the building.
Right.
So I will go in the back. So that also helped me to learn a lot from production and operations and shipping and FedEx and all these other things that happen in the back, because it's different when now on what I do now is not like, okay, let me just tell the team, let's do this. I am aware of all the things that are involved to make that tool get to the end user. So that was pretty cool. I mean, I wouldn't change anything of what I did. So that helped me. That got me a lot of knowledge from.
You were still pretty young too at that time, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So,
I mean, were you still in your 20s at that time?
No, 30s.
30s.
Well, early 30s, I will say.
Early 30s. Okay.
Or not? No. You're right. I was on my 20s, like late 20s.
Pretty good.
I had my first kid. Yeah. So that gave me a lot of knowledge from the back and operations and all that stuff. So then it comes with then the repairs. And again, I go, let's how we can help with the repairs, how we can do this, and how we can make more efficient the repairs and working in the back. And so I like to be like jumping back and forth from what we were doing in the office world. So back on that time, it was mainly office. I wasn't on the field yet. And then I started becoming and learning more of out, right? So I was pretty aware of what was happening inside. So I was like, hey, can I get out there? Can I start going and doing other things out there? And
sales, man. Sales
and the trade shows. That was like, okay.
And you had a predisposition to sales because you're such a people person and very outward, very friendly. So,
and I love it. I was like, so first I was like, can I go to like trade shows?
Yeah.
Man, I loved it. I was like, okay,
you were asking to go.
Yeah.
You're like, I want to go check it out. And then
early. Yeah.
And they were like, no, Carolina. Not yet.
Not yet. And then, man, they got me out. And it was funny because with the international, so I will do from the inside all the international paperwork and shipping and all that. Back on that time, all the international business was managed by Mike Ventura, who is now our president. So, but Mike was Tate Tech back on that time. So it was Mike and then me on the office side. And so it was funny. Every time we would get like a question or a new customer from Italy or I don't know, somewhere like on that island, I would be like, I go. You want me to go see that customer? I go. Man, so they I really wanted to go out there. They saw my wish to go, want to go out there, and they gave me the opportunity. And it goes back to the company trusting me and giving me the opportunity. It's not,
but there's inside sales and then there's in the field.
Oh yeah.
But there's also like the operation of the equipment. And so like the question on people's minds will be like, yeah, but how did you know how to talk about these tools on the level to like drywall people, which is basically a male dominated world, back then and today. You're talking to these guys who've been running these tools that know about them. Was it more about, maybe Mark was there, with you, and you were able to translate, which was probably a good stepping stone for learning. I'm not sure.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely right. I mean, that's how it happened. I remember, um, so like Mark on the operations. I mean, Mark will with the job site and with all the finishers. Like I see how like even if like his body language, like the way he will do it, the way he will just talk to the guys, like he will just be to be part of the group and make sure they feel comfortable with him. So I was like, he's just not coming here and showing off how much he knows. He's trying to share his knowledge and making sure they see what they can do. So I learned that from Mark.
Right.
Then Mike is very, he explains really well himself. And so it was the first time we went to Spain and to visit one of the customers. And I wasn't with Mark. I was with Ray Garcia, who is now one of the field specialists. He deals with the company. So I was with Ray. We went to Spain and Mike. So Mike, we had a couple of meetings with customers.
This was your first trip?
This was, I think that was the first one on my own. Yep, it was because Mike was with me and international as well, because they were doing all these road trips and like they rode they call it the Tape Tech road show. And,
okay.
And I was like, okay, so how you guys do it, like how it's done, how many hours, but you explain how is that done. So Mike took me, we went to Spain to do that because he had done it in the past with Mark. It was just the two of them. Now it's like Mike was like, okay, you're going to do this on your own. This is what you need to do. He showed me the first one. He did the first one in English. I translated, but I got what he was doing, how he was doing it, and how he was showing and explaining. And I was like, okay, I got it. And he was just with me on that first presentation. I did the afternoon presentation on my own. And after that, I got the van with right on the side, and we drove around Spain doing the road shows. And that was my very first one on my own. And after that, I mean, we do it all around the world. And I really enjoy those trips. I mean, I really do enjoy going around the world, explaining what we do. And it's because here in the States, that's it's like bread and butter, right? Like everything is drywall. It's a very strong technique. And when you go to other countries where they don't do it, and it's like a new technology, a new technique. Oh, I love just talking about it and showing them. And
I remember when I went from working in mobile home manufacturing to the union and seeing the tools really ran for the first time. It was like, oh, this is the way it's done. Wasn't even a question. Yeah, very cool.
It's and I really enjoy those trips. It's tough with a family. I mean, being away and away from home, and but I'm very blessed. I got a great support at home with the boys and my husband. They really support me. They see that I like this, and they're all for it. So
what does your husband do?
He is in accounting. He is a director of accounting for
Power couple. You guys are power couple.
Oh yeah, he does the numbers. I do the. I'm like, I see him working, and it's like all numbers. I'm like, oh, I couldn't. I can only do this for a few hours, and then I'm done. And then so, anyways.
Very cool. So you go out, you have success in the field, And at that time, how long have you been doing like outside sales in the field?
I will say that started right before COVID. I will say that
Okay.
was right before pandemic, and I got to do a little bit of trade shows maybe a year or so prior pandemic, and then after pandemic, like for after 1 year that we all stay home, that was like okay, now it's like on it. Now it's very heavy outside sales, international sales in opening markets. But yeah, it was maybe about a year or so that I started before pandemic that I started doing outside sales.
Cool.
But it's all combined. I mean, it's just um, because I will deal with the customers, but from here. But I'm like, it gives you another view. It opens your mind when you go see the store, when you go visit them,
Yeah.
when you go and get to visit job sites. Job sites are very particular. Job sites are job sites here and everywhere in the world. I think a job site is a job site.
Yeah.
But with the culture, the techniques they use, and so it's fun. I really enjoy the sales, the outside sales.
Yeah. Well, and being bilingual too, you see a little more of the culture. You get to see a different aspect of the culture.
Oh yeah,
Really cool.
it definitely does. It definitely does. But yeah, I mean, I really enjoy it. Yeah, it's now more challenges, and I really like it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like it. So you got you and Mark. How many other people like you are there at AMES and Tape Deck right now? Are you like sort of on the top? There's people underneath you. How does it work?
So we have currently Tape Tech is a small team. So we
Okay.
got Robbie Burrell, who's the head of Tape Tech. And even before Robbie, I mean,
I'm trying to get Robbie on to the podcast too. I got to get Robbie. Like I called him and I was supposed to call him back and I didn't. And I feel like I lost my opportunity. Robbie, if you're listening, we got to get you, buddy. I apologize. I'm normally very on top of calling back, but that's neither here nor there. We'll get
yeah.
you.
Oh yeah, and he would love to do this too.
I met him at CSR and their Black Friday last
Friday, yeah, Black Friday.
yeah, great. It
Yeah,
seemed like a really great guy.
yeah.
And I think that's when I really met Mark for the first time. But they were great guys. They were super friendly, and I was like, "You guys should come on the podcast." And that's how this and Tabitha. That's where I met Tabitha, who I
Yeah.
really like too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she's awesome. She's
Yeah,
awesome.
she's super cool.
She is super cool.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, so okay, so even before Robbie, it was basically Mike and myself. It was just the
Okay, this Mike Ventura character.
Ventura. Yeah, Mike Ventura.
Yep.
So it was.
And no, wait, Mike runs everything, or is
Yeah.
that just so he oversees AMES, Tape Tech,
Correct.
the whole enchilada?
The whole enchilada. There
Okay,
you go.
all right.
He,
All right.
he
He's got a lot on his plate.
he does. He does.
All right. Well, let's give a shout out to Mike just for the hell of it.
Yes, we should.
Good job, buddy. Keep up the good work.
He's that's. I mean, if you're talking passion, he's another passionate.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll get Mike on too. I don't know. I don't know. I'd love to talk to Mike. I mean, that's probably an interesting story running a company like AMES and Tape Tech. I mean, forget about it. You know, there's a lot that goes on there, and I love like the story. Like everybody's got a story, you know. It's like how the heck does somebody come to become, you know, the head of a large corporation? You know, that's interesting to me.
It really is, and
Yeah.
so before it was just basically just Mike Ventura and me. I mean, that was it. He will do, and actually Mike, I mean, because we were so like such a small team, And back on that time, I mean, AMES, on the AMES side, they have the marketing team there, but we didn't. Like Tape Tech, so Mike will do a lot of things on his own.
But AMES was making the tools. I'm sorry to cut you off. I'm trying to get clear. AMES
Yeah,
was making the tools,
correct.
and then it switched.
Correct. So we have in the back, we have a production team, and we have a team dedicated to refurbish the rental tools. And then we have a team dedicated of production dedicated to build the new tools. But everything is right behind this wall. Everything happens back there.
Cool.
And yeah, we have that's a pretty good team. We got great people. We have a great community back there. We have some people that we got Joa, and she's now she's a quality. I forgot Joa's title. She's quality manager, I believe that's her title now. But I mean, she's been here for over 30 years.
Okay.
And we got people like that. I mean, with that many years on them, where they have seen it all, and it's great community. It's like passion because they have go through so many things together. So we got great people back there.
Yeah.
We do. So Tape Tech, it's been a small group. Then Mike started getting his path out to be the president. So then that's when Robbie comes. So Robbie takes Mike's previous place in Tape Tech during Tape Tech. So now Robbie Worrell is the head of Tape Tech. I report to Robbie, and it's just so it was just like the two of us, right? But now we have our customer service team, which we couldn't do what we do without them. We have a great team of ladies. They work very hard. They do a lot because they're not the typical customer service team where they just entry orders and ship them and print the tickets and confirmation. I mean, they do a lot of stuff. They do international paperwork. They do quotes. They do FedEx. Quotes. I mean, it's like they do repairs. We also have the pro service program, the repairs program. We have it under it's a Tape Tech program, so it falls kind of like under all of us. So they have to deal with a lot of things, and they're a great team. They're a great support to us, and they help us be successful. So, and then recently we added to the organization more teams. Like we have now a marketing team. We didn't have a marketing team years ago, right? So now we have Tabitha, and we got great people like leading it, like Tabitha. I mean, she's awesome. She helps a lot. She has like great ideas. Her vision, her passion is also really, really good. So yeah, she's badass. And so we have now the marketing team, and now we have a head of sales, and they have their sales team. But they don't work directly with Tape Tech, meaning they're not under Tape Tech. They are like a company sales team. So
okay,
yeah, so it's a little bit different, but they're on the field. I mean, it's more domestic, meaning me and Robbie focus now more on strategy and opening new markets and new customers, and I focus a lot of the international, and then we got our sales team. They focus and they support everything. They support AMES, they support Tape Tech, they do it all. They do it all. They support everything, but it kind of like goes back. But so now we are a bigger team. So yeah, we're a bigger team. We got more support per se.
Yeah, you guys are no slouch. You don't rest on your laurels, that's for sure. It's like, yeah, we invented the tools and we're going to continue to crush it.
We do,
Yeah, I like that.
and that's another every time when I'm out there. That's also something that I really push and that I'm actually proud of. Is the training, and that we have our engineer, and we're innovating, like innovation. And when we say innovation, is not just to say, oh yeah, we innovate. No, I mean,
Right.
we have our team of engineers in-house. They're always looking, they're always listening, they're always working on how we can improve, how we can innovate, how we can get the best tools out there, how we can continue to be the best by far. So we have that. No everybody has the engineering team in house. Also, people like Mark. I mean, that's just a legend. I mean, that's just something that's pretty unique himself. Yeah. So
It's very cool. I'm inspired by how much you enjoy what you do. I've been wanting to talk to you for quite a while. I mean, is there anything that you foresee happening that you're excited about?
we're growing. I mean, it's
Yeah.
something, and we're growing, and there are, great changes coming, and I see great opportunities on down the road as well. And I see growth from where I am now, and I'm sure my boss sees growth from where he is now. So I think that's it is a path of growth and opportunities. And I mean, I would never say or think where I was going to be when I started here.
Yeah.
So it's the same. I know I have. I want to continue to grow, continue to learn, and I'm sure there is opportunity down the road, and I'm just looking forward to get the opportunity to take advantage of opportunities, and I'm sure the company sees that and gives that to people that wants to take advantage of opportunities. So we'll see what's down the road. I know I love Take Tech. I love what I do. I love the company, and they should have me here for a while.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
hope they
for
do
sure.
the same. I'm sure they do.
Have you done, is this the first podcast you've done?
It is. It is.
Yeah, what do you think?
I love it. Well, I will tell you. First, I was like, okay, Nick is going to tell me, hey, we're going to do this or something. And I was expecting like, okay, wait, this is it. Like we're on it. I was like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
But I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that
Because sorry, go ahead.
no, because it's very open. I mean, it's just I don't even feel like, oh, I'm being recorded, or
Yeah.
it's like a very open conversation. It's just
Yeah.
me, and you get this everywhere. It's just like the same thing. It's everywhere.
Well, it's different. I'm going to have a different conversation with you than I'm going to have with somebody in the field that uses the tools. We get to talk about, and I mean, I'm lucky that I have a dynamic skill set, and I've used all the tools. Like I call it in the trenches. I've been in the trenches. I've done the work, so I can relate on that level. I love interviewing people that do drywall for a living. Like, I think it's an interesting community. And so then it starts to expand, not just, beyond tape tech and AMES or the tools into like a larger realm, retailers, CSR, GWI in England, all of your competitors. And I think the more that we go that we move in that direction, the more that the community is illuminated, not just to the corporate people that get to go to the shows and meet other corporate people, but to the community. Maybe somebody that's scared to go to the build show, they now have the courage, or we can tell them, like, dude, come to the show. You've heard the interview with Carolina, and you can go meet her at the Tape Tech booth. She's super cool. And it's not so scary. I was kind of scared of Mark. I thought he was like, this person that I couldn't talk to or something, because I'm just like any other drywaller. And he's so approachable. And after meeting him, we got to see each other, and it's just a nicest guy, and just everybody seems so friendly. It's very different. So yeah. And do you listen to other podcasts? Is that something that you listen to, or not really?
I do. So, but it's mainly my husband is the one that is big on podcasts. I mean, he
Okay.
is all the time. So he shares a lot of them, and then I listen to things that he shares with me. But
What do you listen to?
so whatever he sends me, but I, so I will tell you the last one he sent me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he
I
shares.
listen to a couple. I think podcasts are great. I drift around. I listen to music, I listen to audiobooks, and I listen to podcasts, but it just depends. I like a lot of like inspirational podcasts. Mel Robbins has been one that I've been checking out, lately, like psychological, like, sort of business stuff.
His business. So that's pretty much because my husband is in the finance, so he's
Yeah.
always he
Yeah. Did he listen to Dave Ramsey? Has he ever listened to Dave
oh,
Ramsey?
yeah, of course he does.
Yeah.
I mean, but sometimes he tries to hold me off. He's like, listen to this.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, let's do this. I want this, or like, let's try to get this. And he's like, listen to podcast, listen what Ramsey say, listen to what Ramsey say. I'm like, okay.
There's a lot of the guy has got a lot of good point. I mean, I don't think he's the end all be all for finance, but he does have a lot of good stuff. I listened to his book, and I've heard excerpts of his podcast, but I don't really listen to the Dave Ramsey podcast. His
Yeah.
voice is kind of annoying to me, but whatever.
Yeah, but he said he wants me to like cool down of something. He's like, listen to him. Listen what he
Yeah.
wants to sound like. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, I enjoy. I listen to books. I first, and again, this is like all my husband. He got me into this. It's like, listen, when you walk on the park or something, instead of listening to music, listen to books. And I'm like,
Yeah.
but it's actually really good. I mean, it
Yeah.
just you. I still
Yeah.
enjoy.
Zig Ziglar used to call it Automobile University.
Yeah.
Like, so, like, like you can actually learn crap as you're driving around, and you put on a book. Yeah.
Do and sometimes it's hard for me to kind of like just listen to something and then do something else, but I got used to it more and more and more, and
I listen a lot when I travel. Like, you travel a lot. Like, that's a great time to put on I'll download a couple podcasts. I'll fall asleep to them on an airplane.
yeah.
Yeah.
Morning brew, that's something that I listen to that one quite often, but then whatever my husband sends me, he is into podcasts, so
Cool.
yeah. He's very excited when I told you that, oh, I'm going to start listening. And I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah. He might like the Drywall podcast. I don't know.
yeah, maybe. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, probably.
There's some good episodes. People are listening more and more.
It gets like another view of the people. People,
Hmm.
you might have a perspective or someone like at work that you don't interact. Podcasts are very open, are very like,
Yeah.
yeah, like let's just relax, let's just talk about it. And I like this, and I mean, I'm very happy that and grateful that you thought about me and that you invited me over. This is
Yeah. Well, I'm grateful that you found the time to come on the podcast today. I'm very appreciative. It's really challenging. I think people get a little bit nervous to come on the podcast. It's all fine and dandy. You're like, oh yeah, I'll do the podcast. But then it comes time to do it, and it's like, I guess I'm gonna have to push it back.
but you're right. I think people might push it not really because of time, but because
They're a
they're
little
used
scared.
to, yeah, they're a little scared about it, and
Yeah.
which is not, you know, because I have done like other like interviews, or like I'm part of the ADIP association, which is an association in Spain, and every time I go, they got me on their they interview me and they do those things, but it's different. I feel the interview is more like, okay, it's like back and forth, back and forth. This is very relaxed, like it's
Casual.
just,
Yeah.
yeah, very casual. It's just,
Yeah.
yeah, it is what
Well,
it is.
too, I'm not talking about Ames or Tape Tech, really. I'm talking about Carolina. So I think, though,
Exactly.
too, when you focus on the person, it
Yeah,
makes it
different.
uh it humanizes the person. We're all in this together. Everybody's
Absolutely.
doing their best. You have a family, you have bills you got to take care of. We're all living this life. Very cool. And then another thing I ask is a pearl of wisdom. If you could bestow a pearl of wisdom on the drywall community or humanity, what would that be?
Well, I would say don't just get it done. Don't get scared. I mean,
Get it done.
get it done. Don't be scared of taking the chance. It might sometimes won't work sometimes, but it's always good to learn. Even I mean, when things go wrong, it's good because you learn what went
Right.
wrong and you can make it better. Um, from from what my whole process here as a immigrant, as a woman in the industry, and then God gave me boys, so it's just
Mm-hmm.
like it's something that I never planned. I no one like prepared me for it, and I think having the good attitude, going out there, don't being scared. I mean, Nick, you get me to a job site, sure, I get my hat on, I get my boots on, I get my clothes on, oh, do I have to lift something? Let's just do it. Let's
Yeah.
just, it's just, it's not like, I think being having an open mind on go get it, like go get it done. Like, let's just do it. Um, will give you so many other opportunities. I think when we stick to what we're supposed to do, this is what you need to done. When you stick to those limits, you limit yourself and you limit of the other opportunities that are out there, and finding your own way, your own path, your own passion. And I think there is no other way to find your passion other than getting it done, and don't being scared of doing it, and
Love that.
focusing on what you feel like it's right. And sometimes we think too much about what they're going to say, or what are they going to think. And
Yeah.
no, let's just, yeah, get it done.
When
And
was the last time, maybe this is a tricky question, when was the last time you put it out there, like you were going to do something, or you had an idea and it failed?
well, I got one like recently. When I think about work, um, he was going to represent us. I won't use names. I won't use the
No,
company
no.
names, but that this is a good one, I think.
Yeah.
So I went to visit them. I approached them, like I tried to reach out to them many ways, many different ways, and they were like, no, um, no, we're not interested. No, we don't. We're working already with different brands. And like,
Hmm.
please let me just introduce myself. Let me just introduce myself. Let me just talk
Yeah.
to you.
Yeah.
So the owner calls me. We were traveling. I was in Latvia, He called me and he's like, listen, I'm just returning your calls. And you know what? I was in sales. He is the owner now, but he was in sales. He was outside sales doing that for a while. He's like, listen, I was in sales and I will never just shut the door to a salesperson. So because I was there and I know how it feels. So just come. Okay, sure. Let's just chat. I was like, okay, that's all I needed.
Yeah.
So so I planned my trip and my visit to this customer. I show up there. I shipped the samples because he wasn't. I was like, let me just get it, have that there ready. And then we met, we chat, and he told me at the end of the meeting, he's like, listen, I'm interested on your products, and I will be honest with you. I was like, I'm just going to let her talk, and I'm going to send her back with her samples back her way.
Right.
But you know what? I'm going to keep the samples and I'm going to work with you. I was like, okay. It's still a working process. Let me tell you, it's still, but it's just not giving up, right? It's about not giving up. It's still a process. But he told me, he was pretty honest. He's like, listen, I will be honest with you. I told this other guy, I was like, oh, she's just going to come and we're going just to send her back with her samples. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
But we're still working. It still hasn't get it done. But
good.
It's still.
What do you think? What did you say? What do you think turned the corner for him?
No, I mean, I laugh and I say, you were, let's say, and that's what I needed you to give me the opportunity, because I knew I was going to change your mind. That he laughed, and I mean, because
so you showed him maybe some dynamics of the tools that are badass that maybe he didn't consider before.
Yeah, and he was very close. I gave him also the other tools that we have, like on the training, on all these other materials and support that we bring to the table, and why we're different. So he listened. I mean, over the phone he wouldn't listen. Over emails he wasn't responding, and
somebody else was telling me, you gotta go, man. You gotta go. Like, it's only me. It's so hard for me to travel that much, I don't have a sales team, but it's like, you got to go see the people. You gotta go, nobody's gonna sell it like I can,
Yeah, you do, and it's just anyway. But so that was funny. I mean, it didn't work the way I was expecting to work. I mean, normally they're pretty, I mean, when they hear tape tech, it's just like, okay, sure, we want to get the best. But it wasn't the case with this person and with this company, and they were very loyal to who they were working with.
Yeah, I bet.
So, but again, I mean, it didn't work. It hasn't been a easy journey with this customer, but I mean, we're getting there, and again, it's not about giving up. I kept going, and it was after months and calls, and he finally called me back. It's like, listen, I'm just, okay, sure, come over. I was like, okay, that's all I was asking for. Like, okay.
Cool.
So it still hasn't finalized.
Right. Yeah.
Deals, but
I'm like, it doesn't count until the check clears in the bank.
That's right. That's right.
That's right. Carolina Garcia, Tape Tech and AMES. Thank you so much for being on the podcast today. You can find out more or go and meet Carolina. What's the next show you're going to be at?
The next one is Florida Walls and Ceilings in Orlando. That's in July. That's the it's more local, right? It's just it's for Florida residents, but that's my next one. And then after that one, we have the one in the GMS one, which is in San Diego, I believe, and that's in September. And then in October, I got Spain. We're going to the Canarian, the islands. So
nice.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on the Drywall Podcast today. We'll be in touch. I'm going to get in touch with Tabitha, your marketing crew. We'll get some good pictures of Carolina working her magic at the booth. Yeah, thank you so much. We will talk very soon.
Thank you. Sounds great. Thanks, Nick, for the time and opportunity. Love it.
Yeah, have a good day.
You too. Bye.
All right, bye. Huge shout out to Carolina for joining us on the Drywall Podcast today. I appreciate your time. I know you're super busy, and I'm so glad we got to connect. You are just a wonderful person. Also, if I could reach through this damn computer and give AMES a giant hug, I would. Thank you for sponsoring the month of July on the Drywall Podcast. It's because of you guys that I get to have awesome interviews like the one you just heard with Carolina Garcia. She's totally cool. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, tool rentals. AMES has a daily rates on their tool rentals, which means you don't have tools laying around taking up space and costing you money. New to automatic tapings, AMES has a solution for that as well. They offer tool training. Whether you want a quick overview or in-depth support, they will make sure that you are confident with every tool you rent. Check out shopamestools.com or stop by your nearest AMES tool location to learn more. You have a lot of options when you go to listen to something on the radio, whether it's on your drive to work or whether you are on the job site today. You chose to listen to the Drywall Podcast, and I'm grateful to you for that. Join us every Friday or most Fridays for awesome new content, interviewees, and updates on what is happening in the world of drywall. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a fantastic weekend, and remember, keep drywalling.